All right, figure I'd get a little heads up what's going on with this thing. You do a little more reading, a little more YouTube and whatnot myself here on the oil injection pump. It's definitely running really fat. I think it's loaded up. The crank itself possibly it's quite smoky. Pumps definitely, they needs adjustment and attention. Carburetor issue. It's kind of want to get the carburetor straightened out first before getting into the pump. I may go a different direction with a different carburetor, and if I did that, that may be delete on the oil injection. Not sure yet. Looked like the tank was weeping too for a little bit from that sight hole in the oil tank. Basically, just wanting to get this thing up to speed, get it titled, get it plated for some back road use, legal and whatnot. It's not a restoration or an overhaul or nothing. It's just condition I got it in was it ran, clutch problems. I'm just trying to get it, obviously better than how I received it. Get it up to speed to be functioning and whatnot. So yeah, I got a next video will be getting into the carburetor. Figured to just drop this in here. But yeah, enjoy the video. Take her easy. All right, back on the old DT 100 here. Been a while. Had a few other things to take care of around here. One being a Jeep oil cooler. That was fun. And a broken furnace. So now that that's done, I'm going to finally get around to cleaning the carb here. I did get my spring here for the that rear brake. There's the spring. So get the carb cleaned up, get the carb back on there, throttle cables, oil injection pump, needs bled, and then I'll get into that brake spring. All right, this looks like a knockoff carb. Get her cleaned up here, get the float bowl off here. Good day to watch the race here. Race is beyond all the way up to next Saturday. Kind of see the debris in there. I'm gonna give it a real general, real quick cleanup. Get the jets and all that while we're in there. This float bowl seems to be of a different finish. Assuming it's the original. I'm not 100% assuming. Definitely some debris in there. The floats, but they're sitting on the bottom, touching the bottom of the float bowl. And it's got two gaskets in there. Maybe it's shims. Interesting. And as you can see, yeah, it's gumbied up a little. That's the beginning here. Get in there a little further. It's still a little rough, casting, corrosion. You be the judge. It's kind of going through and cleaning out stuff here. Get the idea. Work way over to this guy here. Get those mains out. Take that pilot out of there. Interesting. Clips on the bottom of the needle there. All right, here's what I got installed inside the carburetor, or what came out of there. Clip being on the bottom, rich. I think I might move it up a notch. Let's see, it's got... I might take it up a notch. I'm going to see what's in the book, see what it calls for, size-wise and whatnot. So yeah, this main jet's a little different than what I'm used to. Even the way it's numbered, 239, Pilot 25, it's pretty, it's a normal number. 239 is kind of weird. Yeah, take a look here in the book, see what it says. All right, reading the book here. I was saying I had a 25 Pilot. Looks like probably a 2.5. Can't read nothing on the cutaway. 4L6, I do have that needle. It's all the way down at the bottom for being rich. 2 would be the second from the top. I think I'm going to put it in the middle or one up from the bottom. I can't read nothing on the this main jet. It does have N4 on it, so I do believe it is the 150 here. Yeah, hard to read some of this stuff. I can make some of it out, but yeah, I think we'll move the needle up one clip. Obviously, this is a aftermarket carb, I think, with the original float bowl attached to it, and assuming the original lid. Just by the finishes. But yeah, it's all cleaned up. Basically blasted out all the pathways. Brake cleaner, hit all of them up. I did the choke too. So there's a hole there. Kind of see a choke right there. See the inside of it. I just pulled it out, sprayed some stuff through it. I'm going to reassemble this, put the clip from it'd be slot number 4. Yeah, from looking at this plug, I'm thinking I'll be fine. I could probably put it in the middle and get away with it. I would in the summer, I'd put it in the middle. Winter, yeah, it's cold out. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's revisit where I said I'm not real familiar with these bikes. So this is similar to like a monoblock on a BSA, how that you got your main living down here, bottom of your float bowl, which explains why they're running this older float bowl with this newer style carb. You look at the size of that orifice on there. Yeah. So yeah, that goes all the way down into that hole here. And this is, in fact, like the book says, see it or not, that is a 150. So, pretty much got in there what we need. The only thing that's out of order will be the clip height. I may come back and move that in the summer to the middle or second from the top. It does call for second at the top here. All right, let's get this thing assembled. All right, reading some of this pump adjustments and measurements. It's obvious I got to get my carb all the way together. I looked at some old pictures for routing. I originally had this on top, up here. Pictures I found had it here. Look at the date of my pictures, they're back like November. It's end of January, it's been a while. It came around here, the pump cable. I just tightened that to where it was at. It's like this measurement between there they're talking about. That gap there needs to be checked. This pin here. See that pin, and there's a mark on the pulley. It's kind of close. I gotta get the card back, get the slide in there, and get everything dialed in here. Before messing with this pump too much. I don't want to bleed it here. Bleeding it has you open the throttle and all that. All right, I think my throttle's being limited by this pump travel. I can't really weigh the carbs on there in the air box. I can't stick my finger in there to make sure the slide's going all the way open. But there's a couple marks here. The mark here is supposed to line up with this pin, I think, when it's wide open, which doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense the way I'm reading it. But if I crank this thing, that thing hits that roll pin there and it stops it. Took me a while to just get that thing to spring back. I was having problems there. That thing even springing all the way back. Turns out, routing the cable up like that got that thing to be happy. But if you look from like, there's another cutout here. I'm wondering, I gotta read a little more on loosening that cable, maybe to get more travel. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. It's worth a shot. Might be hard to tell there, but that pin there is not touching the pulley now. I've adjusted that a little bit. I'm gonna put it back to where it was. Even after reading this, it says remove the slack, hold this position, check that these are aligned, and they're not. And even, this doesn't make sense about that, it'd be good, it goes the other direction. The mark that I'm thinking they're talking about, it's this here. And that pin, it's a mile apart. I just went to go bleed this thing and started reading the adjustments. I didn't want to put it back where it was, bleed it, and start it up and see how that goes. Not really been a fan. I usually delete on the oil injections on the jet skis. Snowmobiles, I've left it in, I've deleted it. It depends on the unit. But we'll see how she goes. Keep an eye on the plugs. Plug. All right, reading about this pump stroke. It's another one of these measurements, another one of these talking about shimming and whatnot. We're going to go right on the bleeding here. Remove pump cover. Turn throttle full open. Rotate bleed wheel. Move bleed screw. I had to use some vice grips on that. But yeah. We're going to get some oil flowing through this line down to this pump. I already got a little bit out. So yeah, take the bleed screw back out. Here's our wheel here for a pump. Moves this thing for your stroke and whatnot. So it goes a couple different directions. We're just gonna run that until we got no air. We got this oil. All right, here's the bleed screw. Turn that all the way up. Turn this wheel. Not sure which way it's got to go. Still seeing a shit ton of air bubbles. No, I'm not seeing any. Just a couple here and there. No air bubbles at all. Basically just running this pump through its stroke. Oh, there's one air bubble. Another one. I ain't seeing any. Oh, there goes one. As soon as I say ain't seeing any, one pops up. Now I'm going to call it good. There's all the oil I got out. There's bleed screw. See, that line's full of oil now. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. All right, got the Kickstarter on. Got the foot peg washer and bolt and nut and stuff I got to put on there. It seemed to be at home right there. Did this brake lever spring there. Also came up with a bolt and a nut and a hardware stash. So yeah, we're getting close here. Be getting that cover on there for the oil pump and get tank on, and I'm gonna put a little bit of premix gas in there. Got those new grips on, and I'll be kickstarting this thing here shortly. All right, see what happens here. sure the key matters.
Bruno is a lap down and is currently sitting in 4th position.
Oh, jeez. There's a fart. Oh, man. Come on now. Turn the idle up, maybe. I was doing something. Choke back on. Well, at least it's running. Trying to run. Clutch is clutching. Might be a little fat. Might move that needle. Air it out in the air. That's always good. Messing with that thing for a while. Good to hear it run. All right, it's gonna be it for tonight. Had another bike sitting there that was leaking. I'll just do that there just in case. Yeah. I did have a little bit of premix gas I put in there on top of boat gas. So I'm gonna drain all that out. Put straight gas in there. And the King of Hammer is still on. You pause that. Anyhow, back at it in the morning. Put straight gas in it. See how much it's smoking. Still puffing pretty heavy. I'll move that clip. I mean, I know the clip doesn't get in there to what, like half throttle or whatever, but I moved anyhow. It's one from the bottom. It'd rather be in the middle at least. That's it. So I'll get that out tomorrow. Probably play with this a little bit too. All right, Sunday morning, back out here in the DT 100. Box of carburetors here. Just wanting to get some pieces and parts. Thinking this right here might be what I'm after. So you see how these caps, those are threaded in there. On this other carburetor, there's no threads. So I'm thinking that jam nut or that piece with another jam nut of one of these will get me where I need to go. I also got a seat bolt, or sorry, a gas tank bolt. Gonna drain the premix out of that tank, get straight gas in there. I'll show you what I mean on the carburetor. I put an O-ring there, kind of see it there. When I got this bike, this here was laying flat, like so. Or, you know, it ain't threaded in there. It was laying like that. That's how there was crud down on this, inside that slide. So I'm gonna get that dialed in, move the clip up a height to the middle, and get that premix gas out of that tank and fire it up and see how see what kind of smoke show I get going. All right, here we go. So this cap here, I suspect that was drilled out the threads. This piece here, I was wanting to use this newer one here. That's gonna be too short. Look at the cap here, how that goes like that. So these are pretty long. So that should get me where I need to be. Be nice to find a new or used cap that's threaded and not drilled on. All the stuff I got's either too big or too small. I don't have any in betweens. Got like stuff for the 50s, then stuff for bigger stuff. Nothing really in between. So gonna probably do an O-ring too here again on the outside, just to help seal up, I guess. That'll probably eat up some space. Let's get those swapped around. All right, these are pretty much, you know, they don't want to come out of the cables. So opted not to destroy that because realistically, I need a better cap. This is what I got going. Not ideal. Not sure what the travel is going to be like till I stick it in there. So yeah, got the clip in the middle there. So put it back together, get the gas tank on there. Use that seat bolt. I did put Loctite on the jam nut on the cap. That nut in there. Nut inside there's got Loctite on it. I'll do the same on that seat bolt too. All right, there's the setup now. It's tight. Carb's about as center as it's going to get the way that pipe is. There's clearance there. Not much. It even seems like the groove here, that area is offset, so the carb would be a little bit cocked. Did notice one thing, this petcock looks newer. I'm assuming it's not for this bike. If I look in the tank, I might not be able to show this, but the pickup is really tall. It's almost like a reserve one is. The pickup just seems really tall. Seems like you'd be riding on reserve a little bit, you know, for quite a ways, I guess. Also, when I was planning on cutting the bars down, I'm looking at my gap here. I got a little bit between the grip there, but it really runs out of real estate. Maybe a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, about as best I could get. Cutting these this side, obviously there's more to play with because there's not the turn signal box, but that'll be for another day. That'll be like chain and sprocket, you know, the other little things. I did put a split key in there and got rid of the safety wire. But yeah, I got gas in there. Let's get it fired up. See what the smoke show does. It's holding it idle. Definitely need a different cap on there to get more travel out of the throttle. It's got a lot of twist before you get into it. That didn't do so good for beating the path down. I'm gonna give this a run. Get a path beaten down and take it for a loop around. Turn the gas off right now. Well, I think that's going to be it. Not enough throttle travel. Go look for another cap. And yeah, took it for a little spin, but yeah, not enough throttle travel. kind of figured that was going to be the case there, with not having enough throw on that. Anyhow, take her easy. Have a good weekend. Later.